your local hope dealer.
Inspiration and dedication. I came a long way from sleeping in them cages. I got my life back, I feel amazing. Life's a book, don't get stuck on sad pages. Rainy days with no money. Hard work leads to days that are sunny. Looking back, it was all needed. The problems, the pain, the trauma, the grieving. You are now tuned in to the prisoner to painter. Prisoner to painter. Hard work, dedication. Rainy days, inspiration. Prisoner to painter.
And now, a word from your local hope dealer.
Podcast. I'm Nathan McDermott,
And I am Caitlin McDermott.
and today at the table with us we have Redbeard. How are you doing tonight?
Good.
That's good to hear, man. I'm excited to have you here. He was very intricate, a very important role in making this podcast possible, which we'll get into later. But he made business cards, made stickers, marketing. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that this man does, and I want to thank him personally for helping making this possible.
Anytime, man.
Awesome. So I guess I'll just dive right in, and then there'll be time at the end, to tell us more about your businesses and all that type of deal. So I'm just gonna start right out the gate. How was your childhood?
Great. I mean, I had a good childhood growing up. I mean, played lots of basketball. We actually lived right next to Bennett School and played lots of football, basketball.
Heck yeah, dude, it's funny. That takes one of my questions right off the gate. I was gonna say, I was gonna ask if you did any sports.
Oh yeah, man.
Heck yeah. So pretty good childhood. Where would you say the start of your story is?
I would say the start of my story begins with the earliest thing I can remember is walking everywhere with my mom at 5 years old. She was a single parent for a minute, and she used to work at White's Chicken. I don't know if you know.
Yeah.
We're familiar,
yeah,
but a really good chicken joint.
Oh
Really
yeah.
good,
She just walking, and I used to like playing all types of stuff, man. Got my first computer at 12 and just went from there.
Heck yeah. So it sounds like you and your mom has a pretty good relationship.
Oh yeah, man.
Good,
Yep.
man. I'm a mom's boy.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not putting those words in your mouth. But
No,
I'm a mom's
I am,
boy.
man. I'm a mama's boy, so
that's,
I'm not gonna lie.
Another question to answer. I was gonna say, what did your mom do growing up? Worked at White Chicken. That's
Oh yeah, she worked there for probably since she was 16, and then she was a dietary aide at the Jackson Friendly Home for about 12 years, and then from there she works at Roxy Cafe.
No kidding.
Yep.
So that's from one good place to another.
Yep.
I mean, food wise.
And she's been there for 20 plus years. So.
Dang, she still work there?
Oh yeah.
God, we probably met her then.
Oh yeah. I'm sure you've ate there.
Oh yeah. We frequent when we can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when they're not packed out.
And
the dang
when the
door.
eggs aren't so expensive.
Right.
Oh man, that's I'm glad to have somebody on here that had a good childhood.
Oh,
that
yeah.
That we don't have to really talk about trauma and whatnot, because the point of this podcast is your definition of success. Not,
Oh yeah. I mean, everybody goes through some kind of trauma. I mean, if you haven't, then you're royalty, I guess.
Right.
I was gonna say a liar, but
Yeah, no, or a liar. But yeah, I mean, we've all had our trauma. I mean, from fighting stepdad and all that, but I mean, it's built me and my stepdad are gold now. I mean, he's been there for me since I was 2. So
good stuff.
Yep.
Good. Hey man, and somebody who chooses to be a dad
Oh,
is awesome. That's good.
exactly. I mean,
Cool. Well, so my next question was, did it impact your direction in life? So you had a good childhood, so that probably means that you had a pretty good good path to take, a good direction.
oh yeah, yeah. I was the biggest problem child in I probably went to every school around Jackson just because I was always in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but it took me until about 5th grade. I got one of my favorite teachers, Miss Johnson, and she kind of molded me into a better kid.
Hey, that's like what teachers are meant for. Dude.
Exactly.
That's perfect.
Yep.
That's perfect. So school. What schools did you attend? Said you went to a couple of them.
Oh, I went to every one besides probably Western. You
Right.
mentioned Western, but,
Yep. Hey,
but probably every one, and then even homeschooled at one point, and then I actually dropped out. But I was hanging out with my friends so much, and then I was like, you know what, I'm not going to school. Dropped out, and then my friend's dad actually was like, you know, if you're gonna drop out, then you're not gonna be over here no more. And he actually forced me to go back because, you know, and
Dude, that's good to have good mentors like that.
yeah.
And you're like that. That is. It takes a village.
Oh,
it takes
yeah.
a village.
No.
did you finish school?
oh yeah,
So like
Yep.
high school degree?
high school, got 2 separate degrees, and I wanted to go back and become an accountant, but I just chose different paths.
How old are you now?
35.
Fuck, there's still time.
yeah.
If you ever want to, there's still time. So
Mm-hmm.
that's cool, man. So good grades besides like jumping around or
Oh
just
yeah,
average?
yeah, good grades. It took me all the way up to probably about 9th grade to start actually taking it serious.
Gotcha.
And when I dropped out and then rejoined, I was like, you know what? And I actually skipped a year when I came back because I was getting so good of grades, and I went to an alternative school, and they
Gotcha.
had that kind of option.
Yeah. So geez, I just was gonna ask something and it slipped.
What
Yeah.
changed that made you actually like start trying at school?
What really made me start trying is when I seen my other friends moving on, like when I would get held back, move on, and I'd be like, oh yeah, and they're like, oh, I'm done, and you
Yeah.
know,
Good peer
that
pressure.
kind of
Yeah.
peer pressured me into, you know, actually wanting to give a shit.
Awesome. Well, peer pressure's not always bad. So that's. I mean, it
No.
can be good. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Did you? So you said you played sports like basketball, football. Did you ever play sports in school?
No, I really wanted to, and I actually practiced and did all that, and, but I actually started smoking weed, so I like would play outside of school where you can do that. You can't
Right.
really
Yeah.
do that in school, so yeah.
Did you do any? I'm sorry, I did not mean to cut you off. That was rude of me. Did you do any after school like chess, band, anything?
I was
school?
in
Just curious.
I actually did a bowling league.
Okay.
Yep, we
That's
did
sweet. That's cool.
we did a bowling league. That's about it.
You do
I
like
did,
AV club or anything like that?
No.
No.
I did I can't remember what it was. It was mathematical games, I think.
Like quiz bowl kind of?
Yeah.
Right on.
It was called something else, but I did that for like when I was in school. I would do something for like a week, you know, like I did band for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I was playing the trombone for a couple of days, but I never really stuck it out
Gotcha.
until afterwards, you know. After school is when I actually started pressuring myself to do stuff because I didn't want to be some half-baked guy on the couch.
Yep. Hey man, that's so good grades. So you said so what type of trouble? So having to move around to schools. Maybe I'm being a little nosy, but
Oh no, yeah. Anything and everything I could do because I found out at an early age if I got in trouble, to an extent, they would send me home and I could go home and play video games, work on a
Yeah.
computer, do stuff like that.
so nothing serious. Maybe like skipping class or something.
No,
of that nature.
one time that I remember, the teacher was like, if you say another cuss word, you're going home. And I was like, you know,
Yeah.
cussed him out, but like nothing like that, like fighting.
Oh,
I got into a lot of fights and
Gotcha.
stuff like that. And
God, you're a
just
pretty big
stupid
boy.
stuff.
I don't know if I want to get in a fight.
I
with
got
you.
expelled from Parkside because one of the teachers grabbed me and I like swung back at him. I didn't hit him, but like they said I did, like was trying to hit a teacher, but
Well, somebody grabbing you from
Yeah.
behind. I mean, you're natural.
and it was
instinct, yeah.
that school was so bad for
Yeah.
me.
Well, you're like super tall, so
Oh,
like,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
have you been tall for like?
Oh yeah, forever.
So basically, like puberty, you shot
Yep.
up.
I'm like one of those people that had a beard at like 12.
Awesome. Yeah, God, I'm sorry, that just made me chuckle. I remember
Oh,
the 13-year-old. I'm like, you're a friggin' adult. Like, what are you doing in my, in my grade? Man.
So, how did you start smoking weed?
The very first time I started smoking weed was with my real father. I noticed he would smoke a cigarette, or he would smoke a thing that looked like a cigarette, and then afterwards smoke a cigarette, and I was like, what? And my dad, he had a lot of health issues. He had strokes, heart attacks. He lived through cancer. Oh yeah. He wasn't all there when I got to start hanging out with him, and so he didn't really like he had brain damage to where he would tell you the same story every week, you know. So I asked him about it one day, and he's like, "You want to try it?" And I was like, "I guess." Yeah. And I just remember smoking, and then I got super like in a panic attack, and I walked all the way from his house all the way to my mom's house, walked upstairs to my room, locked the door, and just played video games. It seemed like for 2 weeks.
Were you pretty young?
Oh yeah, about 14, 15 years old.
14, 15. So, and we'll dive into this later on. But so one thing I like about your story, smoking weed is not bad.
No. And I remember smoking weed from 15 all the way up until like 21. And when I turned 21, I remember it was my birthday, and I called my mom because I finally wanted to tell my mom.
Yeah.
And I knew my mom smoked. They would always tell us, "Hey, we're going to talk about Christmas," and send everybody out and be smoking. And then we would come in and be like, "What's that smell?" You know,
it smells like a skunk in here.
Yeah. I didn't know. Literally, that's how not sheltered, but like my mom and them, like, for the longest, she knew I even smoked. When I called her and told her, she's like, "Oh, I already knew." And I was like, and she, even at that age, she never once wanted to smoke with us or nothing.
Right on.
It took me into my 30s to even start smoking with her.
Yeah. Hey, that is very, I'm not against weed at all. I think weed's very beneficial, but I do very much so like that a parent that, and nothing, even saying nothing bad about your father, but I like a parent that waits or at least leaves that boundary. Like, hey man, like you're old enough. That is
I'd like to believe that if my father was in a better state of mind at that point, he would have never. Yeah. But.
Well, and there's two views. Some people are like 15 is old enough, and you know, so
yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, dude, that is very nice of your mother, or good.
Yeah, she's the best, man.
Good. Well, maybe one day we'll meet her. That'd be cool.
I'm sure you already have.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I flipped about that. So from childhood, really good, which is great. I mean, that's really good. So good school besides jumping around, and then start smoking weed at 15. Is there any part of this part of your life, maybe a story you want to tell that maybe I didn't ask the right question to get the right answer?
I mean, the only other issue that I can see is I dealt with a lot of depression.
Okay.
From an early age, just because of like shit that's happened. Like, for instance, when I was probably 3 or 4, maybe even 5, I remember my mom getting a phone call that her grandma died, and it was like the worst thing ever for my mom, you know, just shit like that. Yeah. And or trauma from my uncle that's been in and out of prison for all his life, it seems like, because of alcohol. Yeah. Come over and try to break into our house because he didn't have nowhere to go, because he was that kind of a person. Like, you wouldn't want him in the house.
Gotcha.
I remember him robbing Admiral on West Ave, and he stole a bunch of lotto tickets. This goes to show you how off in the head this guy is. Yeah. He stole a bunch of lotto tickets and brought them into my mom's house and hid them under my bed when I was a fucking kid. Yeah. You know, so... just him breaking in, and just me losing a lot of family members at a young age. It just depression.
Would you say that affected your relationship with like your friends, other people, your family?
Oh yeah, a lot. Because most of the time I'll get like to where I feel that I'm like successful and on a good path, and then that depression will kick in and I'll seclude myself from everyone and be a total asshole.
Well, yeah, it lies to you.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Well, and depression isn't just like because of trauma or whatever. I mean, hell, I get depressed.
Oh, yeah.
So that's not like a. It's important and it's a big deal.
I think when you are susceptible to depression, I think when you have trauma, I think it boosts.
Like amplifies. Yeah. Definitely.
Well, there is like genetic factors. There's like gender and age and ethnicity and all those factors play into the mental health
genetics.
aspect.
Well, so after high school, well, was it directly to college? Did you have any jobs?
After high school, I went out to JCC for about a year and a half. Transferred out of there into an online technical school out of Colorado. I think it was, or it might have been Arizona. Don't quote me, but it was Phoenix University.
Okay.
For graphic design, which was for my web design, and then from there I took like a 3-year break. Started growing weed, and that was when the medical marijuana started booming, and after that I wanted to do more into computers, which I was really bouncing the computers and being an accountant, but because I like math. But then I went downtown to another technical school called Career Quest and got my bachelor's degree. It was an associate degree at first, but then it like halfway through they tricked me into getting. They're like, "Oh, we can get you more funding, and you can get it actually they turned the program into a bachelor's degree." So I got that.
Cool.
And then I just started doing. After that, I had like a year or two depression stint where I didn't want to do nothing. All I did was grow and stay in my house. And
was that what caused your 3-year break you mentioned? Was it depression? Was there external circumstances?
It's usually depression. And then 2016, my real dad died. And then 2 months after that, my grandma died. And then about a half a year later, my other grandma died, and it was just crazy.
A lot of grief in a short amount of time, man.
A lot.
Have you handled the loss like pretty well? You think, learning to live with the grief?
I think yes, because of the bond that my sister, my dad, and my mom, and now my wife share. Yeah, man, we can get through anything.
How many? Out of those 3 colleges, which one was your favorite? You think going in person or doing it online?
In person.
In person, yeah. I hear that online is beneficial for a lot, but
It is, but the only thing that sucks about it is when you're going and the professor is teaching, if you have anything other than a 2-minute question that you need help with, you got to find time afterwards to meet up with her and do a video, and it's just too much.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of work when you could just walk up front at the end of the class.
And that was my thing, and like I ended up becoming really good with talking in front of the class and stuff, and they actually asked me to become like a teacher assistant and all that, but like I never pursued none of that.
Yeah.
Would you be able to say what your learning style is? Like, how do you learn the best?
Definitely hands-on.
Yep. So like a mixture of visual instructions,
visual, hands-on. But ever since YouTube and all that, I get a lot better with just watching tutorials and how to, and then just by doing it. Repetition is your best friend.
So you went to college, and clearly you're becoming successful, and you're making this business, and I will go back to that. I try to keep it on track as much as I can. I know we're not great at it yet.
You're good, man. You got this.
But going from college, and you said that there was a stint of growing weed. I met you because you grow weed or whatever. You're clearly really good at it. Is that a passion more, or?
It was at one point, but they changed the field so much now that it's the rich are getting richer and the poor are not getting nowhere unless you have your own brand.
Do you wanna elaborate on like the regulation of Michigan and the pot industry?
It used to be a caregiver program, and you could grow your stuff, your allotted amount based on your patients, and then you could take them to these local shops and actually sell it to them. All your extra, because you have so much that you have to give to your patients. Well, I did. You don't have to give them nothing. But I used to give them so much because they're letting you grow 12 plants per
patient.
Yes. So if you have all 5 of your patients, including you, you're getting 72 plants.
It's quite a bit of weed.
Yes. So I would always hook up all my patients, and then with all your extra, you can take it down to these mom and pop shops and sell it to them. I mean, they wouldn't give you a whole bunch, like compared to like if you were just selling it, but they would give you a good amount because they turn around and sell it.
So it was like a lot of money at one time compared to nickel and dime now.
So
it's
how
like
is
getting your tax refund check every year, but like once a month.
So how has it changed? Like how has it evolved to now?
The government picked up on it and they shut it all down, of course, because they're starting to federally legalize it all across. So when that happens, I think you're gonna have it in Walmart
and it's going to be...
And people aren't going to need it like you think they need it now. But there's going to be all these connoisseurs like us that like good stuff. So they're going to pay a little bit of premium.
Well, and it seems like you're still in business doing that. I'm not going to go too much in depth about that. But is the weed business still good to you?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. That's good.
Then I do want to do a little comment section because we have some love in here.
Ooh.
So Daphne said, "You're so strong. I love you. I'm proud of you." Caregivers have like 5 or so patients because they couldn't dip their hands in it is why they changed it.
Yep.
And then Marmar, keep it going, Red. Bry said, "Shout out, keep fighting the good fight, homie."
That's awesome of you, man.
Hey.
Good. Well, it seems like people care about you, which is the whole point of this.
Oh,
And then you're speaking and people get some inspiration out of it. So the weed business is still good to you. That's great. When it got legal, that like when it got Michigan legal, that probably put a damper on things even after the caregiver like fiasco.
Yes.
Do you think it's because of the taxes, or do you think it's because?
I think it's because of everybody wanting to go to the shop and do that whole experience.
Yeah. Well, and some of it's easier. I mean, speaking from experience. Sometimes it's just easier to stop there instead of waiting on the weed man. But
COVID was really good.
Yep.
Just so you know.
I mean, it is 2025, so we legalized in 2018, 2019, so we're around there. So we're creeping up on 10 years, and I think the novelty is starting to wear off.
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to affect like sales?
I think it will, but if you have a loyal fan base, I guess you would call it.
Right.
I mean, I don't think it will, as long as you stay with the price trend.
Gotcha. Yeah, and just asking you, so how the prices went from back then till now? How did that happen? Just somebody started selling it cheaper, or shitty?
The legalized weed came out, and they boomed because I don't know if you guys know this, but the street price and the metric price is what they call it in the legal.
I did not know that.
Because I'm actually a broker with Canna Connect. I have my own business being a broker, so I can sell from legal grow operations to the actual shops and earn a commission.
Cool.
Yep.
So you're like a drug rep.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. A good drug rep.
I go from one grow shop and pick up samples and go out and try to find dispensaries that want to feature their products in that dispensary.
Does that couple with your marketing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is very cool. Well, good, man. Clearly weed is a big part of you. So starting at 15, and then you start smoking weed. When did you decide, hey man, I'm sick of waiting on the dope man, weed man. I'm sick of waiting on the dope man.
I say that too.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start growing. When did that go through your head?
when I kept on having to wait for it, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but like I when I want to smoke and then be good.
Yep, and
Like
now
I don't want to
5
have to.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he says 10 minutes, it's actually 45, 50 minutes, and by then I'm already 8 and I'm already ready for bed.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I just was like, and then I was like, I don't know. I'm the type of person like if I don't know how it works, I'm the type of person that wants to figure it out. Like
You're a tinkerer.
Yep. From the way like it going back to my childhood when I got my first computer, I wanted to know what was in it, how things worked, how it sent information from the hard drive to your motherboard, from your motherboard to your RAM to store information on it.
Awesome.
When you turn off your computer, that's what it does. Your RAM is actually your memory that stores all the information that talks to your hard drive.
So you're really educated with
Oh
that.
yeah,
You're
and
really educated.
I just wanted to figure out how stuff worked, and I'm the type of person, if I don't know something, I'm gonna look it up.
Yep.
Like for instance, I have a BMW that was leaking oil out of its oil gasket.
Yeah, yeah.
I called the shop and they wanted $1,200 to fix it, and
Yeah.
I looked up a YouTube video and bought the gaskets for $12 and did it myself.
Yeah, gasket
$12
seal
fix
is.
compared to $1,200.
There is
Yeah.
no way. That's
Yeah.
all labor, is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, and the gasket was on top of the block. Like I didn't have to do much.
So, how did you move from like hardware stuff with computers to getting into the software and graphics?
I think when I was doing a lot of gaming when in my I say younger years now, but from 16 to probably 24, I was a hardcore gamer. Like, do you remember South Park episode where they were playing World of Warcraft?
Yes.
Hartman got super fat. Yeah,
One of my favorite.
That was me at one point in my mom's basement playing World of Warcraft for like 12 years. No lie.
So you liked Steam? Steam was your
Oh,
platform?
yes.
Did you do any consoles?
I did a lot of Xbox when it first came out, but PlayStation, I owned probably every system. I even have it's called a ColecoVision, I think, where it's like a monitor and the paddles are all built in,
Oh,
and
that's
you can
cool.
pull it out.
Oh,
and play.
like old school.
And it's like Pong.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
I have that, and I've ever since I was competitive gaming, like for in 2006 ish, I started competitive gaming for Gears of War.
Nice.
And we would go to tournaments, and I started noticing people having like graphic signatures and stuff, and I was like, man, that's cool as hell. So I started tinkering around with Photoshop and all these other programs because I knew how to get programs for free.
Right.
Yeah. Man, I feel like I'm jumping around from weed to your graphics and
It's just a lot of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
man.
Well,
Like,
and I say that because the
I
more we
always
talk,
think to myself when I get depressed, I'm always like, man, my life sucked. But like, literally, I've had a really good upbringing. I've done a lot of shit. I've been to Vegas twice.
Nice.
Yeah, me and my mom and parents and stuff, we would always try to do something every year. Like the year before my, couple years before my grandma that had Alzheimer's died, and my dad died, we all went to Niagara Falls, and my actual real dad, who was crippled, well, technically
Yeah.
disabled,
Yeah.
had a stroke, and half of his other body wasn't the same. He could barely walk, and he actually climbed all the way up or down to the Niagara Falls and all the way back. Like, we did all that stuff, man.
Well, man, the reason I just said that is because it's like the more we talk, it's like, holy
Oh, yeah.
shit, I don't know you. Like, like we're going from marketing to, and
Yeah.
then to weed, and it's like, fuck, the competitive gaming. That's cool,
Yep.
man. Did you win anything?
Oh, yeah, we won a couple tournaments. There was a place downtown called Play, Compete, Win.
Okay.
And we used to go down there and bring... the guy used to call it bringing the crowd, but we would bring the crowd and freaking play competitive down there and win tournaments and all.
Did you ever tabletops, D&D, Magic?
We actually play D&D every Thursday.
Awesome.
I just got into it. My wife is a big D&D She's a really huge Doctor Who fan.
Cool.
And stuff like that. But
Where do you guys play?
we just do online.
Oh,
Like,
cool.
we get in Discord, and my friend's the Dungeon Master, and he has some app on his computer that you guys. Well,
Does it have the dice
yep,
and everything? It's all
you just
in there.
type roll and
Yep.
everything.
You can
And
do
he
your
has,
modifiers in there
you can
too.
Do, you can do character sheets built in on your thing, and then when you click there's a piece and a map and everything. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, that's makes it easier.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it easier for everybody, honestly.
Well, man, that's your full life, and you're how old again? You said it.
30. Wait, I was born in '89, man. I always get this wrong. 35.
35. So already a full life, and you got a lot of life to live.
I'll be 36 this year.
So there's a couple other things that I wanted to touch on. I mean, we got plenty of time anyways, but it says it said on your Facebook. So I did a little research.
Uh-huh.
Illustrator, author, and entrepreneur. So we did a little bit about the entrepreneur. Author. What book did you make / write?
I did the Galactic Odyssey coloring book.
Awesome.
I'm actually working on another book about a futuristic cyborg kid named Atlas. It's based on me and my wife's kid that we want, but she's actually fixed. But
you talked a little bit about that prior, and that's unfortunate. The story that you said,
yeah.
and I'm not going to ask anymore about, but that's unfortunate.
oh yeah,
but,
maybe one day we'll be able to afford to. I don't know if we can, because we talked to a doctor about getting her tubes untied, but they said that it was like a really low, not really worth paying for the surgery kind of thing.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean,
But
it's based on a half human, half cyborg space astronaut
Cool,
called
man.
Atlas. Yeah.
Kind of like Astro Boy vibe.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
well, and just real quick, just a side note, for $6.99, you guys can look on Amazon. I encourage you to.
Yep.
$6.99 for paperback on Amazon. I would, buy it up.
Adult coloring book.
Yeah. I looked at the pictures. It was very cool. It was, I would buy it. Well, awesome. So author. So you're working on another book. It sounds like you
Yep.
and your wife's been together since 2019. So how is that?
We got together in 2018 and got married within like 6 months. And
Awesome. We know a story like that.
Yeah.
yeah.
We knew each other literally a month before we got married.
Yeah.
she asked me to marry her, and I was like, hell yeah.
Oh, you
that's-
gotta tell us that story. There. Yeah, that's cool, man.
We
That
met
was
on Plenty of Fish, and
awesome.
we're talking for like 6 months, and yeah, she asked me to marry her.
She
and-
asked you. That's
yep.
fucking cool, man.
We were
Power to the women.
Yeah,
Right.
hey, well, that's a power couple.
Yeah,
That's
and
fucking
she's
awesome.
actually the one that inspired me to like start losing weight, because I used to be like over 600 pounds, and now I'm almost 400. So
Congratulations.
Well, honestly, you don't look it. Like,
Oh,
seriously, you don't. You're
yeah, I used to be huge, man. I didn't notice that at first because my wife was like, wow, you're losing a lot of weight, and everybody tells me,
Yeah.
but you don't really notice it until you actually look at comparison pictures. And my face used to be like this.
Gotcha.
So do you want to touch on your fitness journey a little bit?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
there anything special?
I like to whenever I go to the gym, I like to smoke a fat either a vape. Most of the time, it's a vape,
Yeah.
or beforehand a joint, and just get to the gym and work out. And it's actually inspired a bunch of people to work on their shit and get fit, because I don't want to end up like my dad. And genetics, we talked about that. Big factor in how you are, man. Like, I don't eat a lot of sugar. Like,
Yeah.
I always stress that, man. Sugar is poison.
Okay.
Yep.
It's poison designed to kill you guys.
You know, and they tried to peddle fat was poison, but there's
Yep.
saturated, monosaturated,
Just
stuff
like
like
corn
that.
was never made to be eaten. Corn, anything corn. You're not really supposed to eat that, man.
Well, they used it to make flour back in the day.
I don't. Yeah, and I don't like to eat anything that you can turn into fuel, I guess. man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, man, I'm sorry. I feel like I was put, but I like your titles. So I watch you smoke a joint and then work out. And I wrote one down. Token get fit, but the high road to shedding weight.
Yep,
You
I like
got
that
some
one.
catchy.
Yeah, I
you
try,
got some
man.
catchy ones. It's impressive.
I sometimes I'm sitting there for a half hour, 40 minutes trying to think of a title, and it just,
Wow.
yeah, man.
Well, clearly it's working. So you lost over 200 pounds. Getting high, going to the gym. So
My wife is my biggest inspiration. She's down over 200, and she used to be over 300 pounds.
Wow. Good for her too, man. Do you guys so clearly you guys got to eat healthy or
Eating healthy and just watch what you eat, man. Like
Understood.
drink a lot of water is what I do.
Awesome. Well, health. I mean that could be and this is perfect for the podcast because you're inspiring in a lot of different ways. You're inspiring to start a business. You're inspiring hell to even start growing weed for people that might want to grow weed, but you're also inspiring people that might want to lose weight.
Yeah, man.
I mean, dude,
I'm trying to inspire people by the masses, man.
Well, fuck, it's working. So I wrote a little note here to have Katie ask a little bit about your relationship because I think it's better for a woman to ask than a guy.
Oh, yeah,
You've been together for about 5-6 years. You guys meant to be, you think?
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
I wish I would have met her at a way earlier age.
Cool.
So has the weight loss made you guys grow closer together?
Oh yeah, big.
Do you guys take time on your week for date nights?
Oh yeah, yeah. We just got back from. I surprised her with on our anniversary, which is in January. I surprised her with a jacuzzi room.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That was fun.
Ideas.
You better get your wallet ready.
So what is like a
we
typical...
try to do dates. I try to take her out to dinner at least once a week. It's just hard for us because we have 4 special needs children. So yeah, and one that's full time, 2 that's on the weekends right now because of our oldest with schizophrenia. She was actually hurting our other kids.
Okay.
Like she broke my son's arm and just crazy stuff. And
Doesn't know what she's doing type idea? Or?
She hears voices, man, that tell her to do stuff, and she don't know not to act on them.
10% of the population actually hear voices.
Yes. And it was really rare in her because it started off at a very young age.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if you're familiar with that Five Nights at Freddy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like she got to the point where she got so obsessed with it and she thought it was real. Like she was doing crazy stuff.
So how is having special needs children, does that affect you guys? Do you think the teamwork's pretty good?
We really have good bond and teamwork, but it does somewhat affect us sometimes because her oldest daughter with schizophrenia knows how to she's really good at manipulating, so she knows how to get me and her mom to argue, which we've built to that point where we don't let it really get to us, but some days there's this where I'll for instance I'll yell too loud because it's just one of those days, and it'll cause me and the mom to have our little nitpicks, but it does affect you a lot, to be honest.
On the relationship type idea.
Not really that, just
mental
your
load?
mental.
Yeah, mental load. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and that's another reason why I smoke so much is because the mental, man. If I didn't do my regimen that I do every day, man, I would have probably hurt myself a long time ago.
Well, so would you? And I think we can be beneficial, medical, whatever. Do you think if you went to the doctor that you would be prescribed pot? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I've already been prescribed.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, no shit. You said you were
Well, to be honest with you, though, anybody and their grandmas can get that card if they wanted to. The first time I ever got my card, I went to the doctor, and he came up, walked up to me, touched my back, and he said, "Oh, that hurts, don't it?" And I was like, "I didn't even say that."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, you got really bad back pain, don't you?" Which I did.
Yeah.
But I never even told him that.
Mm.
And then he's like, "Okay, yep." And it was in the dispensary, so
Right, so he's a paid actor doctor.
Yeah. But now they got it so regulated that you can get on your computer and do it over the
It's like being
internet.
an online chaplain,
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
I was just curious because you said you know, smoke weed and it helps you throughout the day. So I was just kind of just connecting the dots, maybe for the audience that weed is beneficial.
Yes,
So,
yes,
there's
weed is
definitely-
beneficial.
That's
Another one is mushrooms, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Awesome.
Till the day I die.
Awesome.
How do you feel about the use of psychedelics in mental health treatment?
Oh, I love it.
So not only mushrooms, they've run trials on
Ketamine.
ketamine and MDMA for
Yep.
autistics.
Ketamine is a good one too.
See that? I don't know. It kind of scares me.
It is,
never
but
done it.
if you get it from a doctor where they can prescribe it to you at a really good thing, and they actually put them in these, it's like a lozenge that melts in your mouth. It's really.
Laggy there. I apologize that we're not moving.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it is a little laggy. That's
I'm sorry
okay.
to interrupt.
Oh, you're good.
Just real
I wanna
quick,
make sure
was
it's-
like and he's really helpful with the IT stuff.
There
I just
goes.
don't see it. Oh, so it's just a freeze. Okay,
It's
gotcha.
probably from that. But
Yeah, go.
they put it in a pill to where it like melts in your mouth, and I've heard it's worked wonders.
I've heard they also do like IV, intravenous, and
Yep.
then that would be like a very controlled therapeutic setting.
Yeah, they lay you down and all that.
So going back to your kids, we talked a little bit about it before the episode. So you are the stepfather. For,
Oh, yeah,
And to me,
I have a daughter from a previous relationship
Okay.
that I actually claim to,
Okay.
even though she's not mine, but I've been her dad since she was. in
Being a
my
chosen
arms.
parent is
Dude, you
Oh,
must
yeah.
love-
Extra special.
You must
Oh
really
yeah,
love
man.
that.
I feel like, to me personally, I feel like that's better than half of these dads that have kids and don't want nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
And I would never do that. I mean,
Well,
even if me and my wife split today, I would still be them kids' father. You know?
That's choosing to love is. I mean, hell, it's better than
Oh,
being
yeah.
forced to love. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I
awesome.
mean, my stepdad instilled that into me. I mean, as much fights as me and him been into, like fist fights, man. Like, that's my dad, man.
Gotcha.
He's awesome.
That's awesome, man. So, just a couple more things. Check out his Linktree, Dewey Decibel.
Yep.
And then I'll give you a second to advertise a little bit. But I wanted to ask that there was one other thing, and it is slipping my mind here, Katie. So all your businesses. So you do marketing.
Yep.
You
I do marketing, social marketing. I can do web design, all types of stuff.
Awesome. You said something about a box truck business.
Yep, I do have a box truck. Me and my wife bought a box truck over the summer.
Awesome.
We started fixing it up, and not really fixing it up. Like, we had to replace a board in the back,
Gotcha.
and then it was an old moving company or a roofing company, and the guy had his stickers on the side. We just sanded that down. We were getting it ready to paint, but then winter hit, and
Well, if you ever need help for free, I know a painter.
Oh.
I know a guy.
hey,
And then you said one other thing about a business. I mean, and it's awesome that so you grow weed. Clearly, people
Yep.
need to hold you for that. Growing weed. There was one other thing. Oh, so you are a for the weed company. You said.
I'm
Broker.
a broker too. Yep,
Awesome.
for Canna Connect. I started that business.
How does that couple with your marketing? You said that it did.
It couples with my marketing because I meet a lot of people that are in the cannabis industry.
Okay, so networking.
And without getting too far into it,
Right.
a lot of these legal places are just as shady as you and,
Yeah.
anyone. And that's how I met a lot of people that I deal with.
Okay, enough said.
Good enough. Well, so I will give you. I think we had a great podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So, is there anything that I might have not asked you that you would want to share?
Awesome.
Awesome.
And then I do have wrap-up questions.
Yeah.
Hold on, we're lagging a little bit, just a little.
I don't understand. Oh, there we go.
There we go. I just minimized
We'll
it.
get that figured out.
Yeah,
in the
thank
next
you.
couple
Thank
days.
you very much.
I did bring you guys some stickers.
Awesome.
I know you like to give out stuff, so
Yes, I do.
I wanted to pay it forward.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm mainly focused on my graphics and stuff as of lately. Like I said, I do any kind of branding, marketing, flyers, websites, anything really to do with a computer.
Okay. Well, it says here, Redbeard's Pixel Studio, need graphics, marketing, web design, get a hold of them. Is Redbeard at 517-250-2777. That is very important. One more time, 517-250-2777 for any graphics, marketing, or web design.
Also,
And
the
you want
lagging
to put
is
that in there, and
probably because the storm coming in tonight.
I brought that for you to check out. If you want.
Awesome, yeah, of course. I would love to. Actually, I will just, yeah, this is awesome, guys. So this is like one of the other huge parts of my podcast is I like supporting local.
Exactly.
So Redbeard's Pixel Studios, creative solutions for branding, design, and digital success. He specializes in high-impact graphic design to elevate brands and businesses, from logos and branding to digital marketing assets, print materials, and custom illustrations.
And we'll get your OBS set up to where we can put your overlays, if you guys want some overlays.
Yes. Like
with your
watermark and
logo,
stuff. Yep.
Logo, and we can even get into animations and all
Oh,
that,
that would
if
be
you guys
super
want
cool.
Honestly, we definitely do. And like I said, season 1, episode 1 was Katie's story. Season
Yep.
1, episode 2 was my story, getting to know the host. Season 1, episode 3 was cartoon story. He was the one who made the video or made the song for the intro. And then Redbeard was a huge intricate part. Season 1, episode 4, huge with helping the IT to marketing, like business cards, stickers, and then clearly work with him more in the future.
Always.
Awesome. And then Katie, you have some
I
wrap-up
do have
questions.
some wrap-up questions.
Awesome.
If there was one word that you would use to describe your journey to where you are now, what would that be?
Triumph.
Triumph?
That's awesome. Dedication.
Is there a reason why?
Because I had to overcome a lot of things within myself to get to where I am, and I had to go through a lot of failures to build all my businesses. I mean, I've probably failed a lot of businesses more than I've had successful. So I always say, if you're not trying something, then you're not learning, and if you're not learning, then you're not growing.
Well,
So,
they say
Yeah.
at first you don't succeed, try again. But what I think is important is if at first you don't succeed, find out why.
exactly.
Yep.
Evaluate.
Yep.
Well, this is awesome, man, and hopefully there will be a part 2 because as we're still learning, there could be better questions, and then upgrading. So maybe in a couple months you come back on.
Yep.
And then before we end, at the end of every episode, I do a local business. I give a gift card. So
Support local.
Yes. So
Always.
this week or this
episode
is Jackson Coffee Company.
Hey.
Founded in 2006, they are Jackson's oldest coffee shop. They pride themselves in offering fantastic coffee that they roast in-house and having the friendliest baristas around, dedicated to downtown community, and they love to get to know their customers. And they are dog friendly.
Yes.
Located 201 South Mechanic Street, Jackson, Michigan, 49201, or their second location, Henry Ford Hospital, 1201 East Michigan Avenue, Jackson, Michigan, 49201. This is for you,
Oh, I appreciate
and I
it.
appreciate you coming on
I
the show, man.
appreciate you guys.
And we will sign off because I do believe our sign on got a little chopped with the loading. So this has been the Prisoner to Painter podcast. I'm Caitlin McDermott.
I'm Nathan McDermott.
And have a great night, guys.